Welcome back again to my archive. I'm so giddy. I'm so happy. Thank you so much, guys, for all the love that I've received on my channel for the past 3 weeks. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. I'm so happy to see you. I'm so happy to meet you. My name is Sandra, and I am the host here. If you're a returning viewer, you're an OG. I love you so much. Thank you for the constant support and love. We all know why we're here. Why laughing? Anyway, we all know why we're here. This video is the story time of my delivery in Lagos, Nigeria. I just want to give you guys gist of what happened on the day that I gave birth to my baby. Listen and be blessed. I just want to start off by saying that whoever dwells in the secret place of the Most High will always abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Like it's non negotiable. That is the promise that God has given and God has kept. The gist, how do I make this gist cohesive? Because a lot of small things were happening all at the same time, but I'm going to try my best. You guys know I'm a storyteller. I'm going to try my best to make this gist very cohesive. So I gave birth on Thursday, 8th of September. Let's take it back to Saturday before the Thursday that I gave birth. So for those of you that already knew on this channel, I was already 38 weeks. I was tired of being pregnant already. Like I just wanted this labor to come, labor to come, labor to come. So on Saturday, my mom was supposed to join me in Lagos on Monday. So on Saturday, my husband and I went out because we needed to get some supplies for the house. My mother is not very familiar with Lagos, so I just wanted to stock up the house so that we'll not need to be saying we need milk, we need egg. So we went shopping also to buy slipper just to stock up the house, getting ready for delivery because I knew that in the coming week either I was going to go into labor or I was going to be too tired to do anything. When we went out, normal day, and then when we got to where we were going, I bought Lipton iced tea and I drank. I was thirsty and I was craving for Lipton iced tea. 10 minutes into my buying Lipton iced tea and drank, there was this rumbling in my stomach. What is this? Like, what's this rumbling? Do I want to pull? What's going on? There was this bad rumbling in my stomach. It was so bad. It was so uncomfortable. I tried to manage it. I tried to manage it. I was like, nah, this cannot be labor now. They had already taught us in the hospital. Labor feels like menstrual pain. Labor pains like menstrual pain. Like it will pain you in your front, lower abdomen. In fact, your water needs to break. When you also your mucus plug will pull. So these were the things that I personally was looking out for labor. So while all these other things were happening to me, I just zeroed my mind and said, no, it cannot be labor. Mind you, before then, my back was already paining me so much. Like I was having so much back pain. I was finding it very difficult to sleep. My back was already paining me, but I'm like, well, they didn't say labor pains at the back now. They said it pains on the lower abdomen. So it's definitely not labor. Maybe it's the way the baby is laying or something. So I said, okay, let me just manage this thing. But as time went on, the pain was progressing. The pain was progressing. Not it wasn't even pain, it was discomfort. Discomfort in my stomach was progressing. I'm like, what is this? What's really going on? I reclined my seat in the chair, and now there was now this very big traffic. We stayed on the road for over 3 hours. That 3 hours was the longest 3 hours of my life. It felt like I was going to pass out. We managed, and then we got home. So my stomach was still paining. I was still feeling very uncomfortable. There was this rumbling. My stomach, it was just all just doing like this inside my stomach. What was happening? So I now said, well, maybe I'm hungry because I had not eaten. The only thing I'd eaten was in the morning before we went out. I said, okay, let me eat. My husband made a bar for me and I ate a bar. So 10 minutes after I ate the bar, the rumbling stopped. So I never even told my husband, he was not even trolling me and saying, oh, so you were just hungry and you were saying, you don't know what's paining in your stomach. Oh. Like 20 minutes after I ate the eba, the rumbling came back this time around. I don't know how to explain what I was feeling. It was something I'd not felt before. It was just as if the child in my stomach was just rolling and contracting my intestines and everything. I was so uncomfortable. I was pacing about the house. I was telling my husband, this thing I'm saying now is around like 9 p.m. in the night. I was pacing about the house. I was like, I don't know what's happening. Oh, I don't know what's happening. So my husband was like, should we go to the hospital? I said, no. But if I go to the hospital, what will I tell them? I know what labor pain is, or at least I thought I knew what labor pain was. I know what labor pain is. They say it will pain you in your front abdomen, water will break, mucus plug. I said, I've not had any of this. So why should I go to the hospital? I'll look like I don't know what I'm doing. I've been attending antenatal. So I know what to look out for when it's actually labor. So my husband was like, are you sure? I said yes. I said, let me try to sleep. If I sleep and then I wake up and I still feel this pain, then we'll go to the hospital. Then I slept by this 9 p.m. now. I slept. And then when I slept, I woke up by 11. The pain did not stop. So I told my husband, man, we need to go to the hospital. I don't know what this is because I don't think it's labor, but if it's not labor, then something is definitely wrong. I've been having this uncomfortable feeling now for like 5 hours. I said if it's not labor, then something is wrong. We need to either way check on the baby. So we took my hospital bag just in case, and we were on our way to the hospital. This was like by 11 p.m. in the night. So as we were going to the hospital, I was already judging myself, like, Sandra, you know what to look out for now. You know what to look out for. This, I don't know what it is, but this is not labor. It's not labor. Don't go there now. And when you are really in labor, nobody will listen to you. So when we had already come out of our estate, we were driving down. I just told my husband, well, the pain has subsided. Let's go home. My husband was like, are you sure? I said, yes, let's go home. The pain has subsided. Besides, I don't think this is labor because all the things I'm supposed to look out for has not come. I don't think it's labor. So I now promised my husband, I said, if I wake up in the morning, by the time I wake up in the morning and I feel this same thing, then definitely we're going to go to the hospital because something is wrong. My husband was like, well, okay, if you say so. And then we turned back and went home and I slept that night. Woke up the next morning and there was no pain, there was no discomfort. So that was how that day ended. The next day now was Sunday. Please, if you are a new mother, you're a first time mother, not everybody's labor pains them in their lower abdomen. Oh. Some people labor with their back. Personally, I labored with my back. The whole time I was in labor, I did not know that I was in labor because I was looking out for the regular, it pains you in the lower abdomen. The whole time I was laboring and I didn't even know that I was in labor. So not everybody labors with their front. So fast forward to Monday, my mother had come. Hey, welcome, welcome, everything. So me and my mom, normal, we're just in that discomfort. Self didn't happen again. The next day was Tuesday. It was my antenatal. I went to antenatal. My mother came with me, and then we saw the doctor. The doctor still reiterated and said, "You know what to look out for when you're in labor, right? Your front ab, you'll be feeling like menstrual pain, but this time is going to be very very tough. Like it's going to be very painful, and all your water will break or your mucus plug will pull." That's what you look out for. That's what my gynecologist still said. So we got home. That day, I could not sleep in the night. My back was paining me. I was turning here, turning there, and I was drinking water like a whale. Uh-uh. Because my mother was telling me that you are in labor. I said, Mommy, are you sure? My mother said that's how she labored, that's how she labors. My mother was telling me that you're in labor. I was like, well, but you heard what the gynecologist said. My mother said, well, you new school people, me, I know follow. I've sure I told you you're in labor. If you think you're not in labor, yeah, now let's watch it. So the next day was Wednesday. The same thing. I was just at home. So my mother went to the market and bought sugar cane for me. She bought two long sugar cane. I sat down and I finished the sugar cane. My mother was like, the way you are eating this sugar cane, I don't understand. I'm telling you that you're in labor, your back is still paining you. I said, yes. My mother said, you're in labor. I said, I don't think I'm in labor. They've told me what to look out for. I don't think I'm in labor. I'll wait till any of these signs come. That Wednesday night, I did not sleep. When I mean I did not sleep, from morning till 7 a.m. I didn't sleep. I kept turning, tossing and turning. So I had to tell my husband, I say, I'm not comfortable with the way I'm feeling again. No, I don't think I'm in labor, but the way I'm feeling is either I'm in labor or there's something wrong with this child. Either ways, we need to go to the hospital to check because I'm tired of having to wait for my mucus plug to pull, my water to break. Something is wrong inside. This is not how I'm feeling. A pregnant woman, there are certain discomforts you should feel. This particular discomfort that I'm feeling, I have not felt it before. So it's either I am in labor or there's something wrong with this child. We need to go to the hospital. So by 7 the next morning, we got up. I had my bath. So I went to my mom's room and I told her that, Mommy, this night I didn't sleep. So my husband and I, we just want to quickly get to the hospital. We want to just know what is really going on, because if it's not labor, then they need to check what's happening. My mother was like, she will come with us. I said, you don't need to bother. I don't think I'm in labor. Just stay at home. There's no need. Rest. She just came on a Monday. I said, there's no need. Just rest. My mother was like, no, don't worry. She asked that she will come. My mother went and had a bath. So when I was having my bath, I was just telling myself, Sandra, what if this is actually labor? Are you ready? Are you ready? Hmm. And I was like, well, there's only one way to find out, to get to the hospital. So as we were going to leave the house, um, my mother was like, take your hospital bag. I said, Mommy, I'm not in labor. Why should I take my hospital? My mother said, are you going to hold it in your hand? Just put it in the boot, just in case you are in labor. So, well, we're like, well, she's making sense. So we took the hospital bag and we put in the boot, and then we prayed. When I was having my bath that morning, there was this song that came to my mind. This if you have said it, then you will do it. That song just kept ringing in my head, ringing in my head. So throughout the ride to the hospital, that was the song I was playing. Ọlọ́run àgbáyé o, you are mighty o. If you don't even know the song, that's the song I used as a background music for my bedtime vlog. That was the song I was singing all through in my mind, because the devil wanted to put fear in my mind that, Sandra, what if this is labor? But a part of me was like, no, ginger, ginger. Even if it's labor, you do it. You are ready. You are prepared for this. Like, this is what you've been waiting for all your life. So we got to the hospital, got my card, and then we saw a general practitioner. That day was a Thursday. Wasn't The guy needs a consultant, so he comes in only on Tuesdays. So I met the general practitioner, and what is the problem? I said, well, I'm 38 weeks and this is what I've been feeling. I explained everything that's happened to him. He now said, have you been feeling Braxton Hicks? I said, no, I've not been feeling Braxton Hicks. So he said, then if you've not been I said, has your water broken? I said, no. Has your mucus plug pulled? I said, no. I said, then you're not in labor. That these are the first signs to know when you're in labor. I said, well, if I'm not in labor, then what is the problem? Because I'm so uncomfortable, I'm not sleeping, I know what is really happening. Like, my back has been paining me. So he said, okay, he will check for contractions. In fact, that he was going to check me to see if maybe I'm dilating or something. That he will check for contractions. And then I lay down on the bed, and then he put his hand on my stomach. He said, hey, you are contracting, but these contractions you are having is not enough to send you into labor. So I think you should go home first and go home. Maybe let's see how it progresses today and tomorrow. So my mother was like, no, but doctor, try and check her now. Put your hand inside and see. Maybe she's dilating. Because this is how I labor. This was my mom saying, this is how I labor. And I'm thinking maybe she's taking after me. So the doctor was like, well, okay. And the doctor sought permission, asked my husband if it was okay by him. My husband said, yeah, no problem. Let him check me. So I asked the doctor, how long? How is it painful? He said, well, all I need is your cooperation. It's in and out. I'll be done. It was now time to open leg. I started crying. I said, doctor, please don't check me. Don't check me. Please don't put hand. Remember that I had pelvic pain. I had this really bad pelvic pain. For those of you that followed this journey, you know that at the tail end of my pregnancy, I had very bad pelvic pain. So I'm crying, I'm hysterical, like, doctor, please, no, don't put your hand. It was so bad because even to pee, when I pee, to wipe, I feel pain. Then how much more doctor putting his hand inside? I was crying, doctor, please, don't put your hand. So doctor now said, she's not in labor, because if she's in labor, nobody will tell her. She will open her leg by herself, let them check her. She's not in labor. So I think you guys should go home. Let's see how it progresses. Mind you, that day was on the 8th of September. The scan that I did said I was going to give birth on the 12th of September. So he now said, well, I still have time. So let me go home. He asked me where I lived. I told him, and he said, okay, it's not so far. So let's see how it progresses. So as I was coming out of the doctor's office, the chief matron, the lady that conducts antenatal for, saw me. And then we were going. She was like, where are you going? I thought you were here to give birth. I said, well, technically, because I was actually feeling some pain, and then I really don't know what was happening. But doctor said I'm not contracting enough. Uh-uh. You're not contracting enough. She now asked me how many weeks are you? I said 38 weeks. She put her hand on my stomach. Immediately she put her hand on my stomach. She was like, make a bed for her. I was like, make sure doctor said I am good to go, that I'm not contracting enough to give birth. She said, this is my field. I know what I am doing. Make a bed for her. So I was trying to do like, make sure doctor just said I should go. He said if it progresses in the evening, I should come back. Metro was like, I am your caregiver and I am not going to allow you leave this place. Make a bed for her. Ah, I was like, God, by then my husband had already gone to the parking lot to bring out the car and carry us. So it was just me and my mother coming out of the doctor's hospital when Metron saw us. So she was like, I'm sending you upstairs now. I was like, Metron. She said, are you ready? Do you have your things? I said, yes. I said, tell your husband to bring your things. I'm sending you upstairs. Make a bed for her. Like play. They were keeping me. Well, and I said, okay. So you now, the matron now asked me, the doctor check you for dilation? My mother now started saying, she refused. No, sir, she was crying. She kept crying. I don't know what her problem is. My mother was already on fight mode. Me too, I was on fight mode. I was ready to fight her back. Say, I don't know what her problem is. I kept telling her, open your legs, open your legs. And she kept crying. So matron now said, let's go upstairs here. She took me to the labor room. Immediately I got to the labor room. I saw the equipment, the bed, everything. I burst into tears. I started crying. I said, Mommy, I can't do this. I'm crying. I'm hugging my husband. I'm crying. So matron now said, don't worry. I'm just going to check you for dilation. But with what I have seen, by when she touched my stomach, you are contracting, like you are heavily contracting. So I now laid down. Matron now sterilized her hand, did everything. Oh yeah, auntie, open leg, let them choke and inside. When I open my leg, I'm like, oh no, no, no. I open my leg, I'll close it. My mother was like, Ori, open your leg. Okay. Backstory, if you don't know, my pet's name is Ori. Ori means original. And they gave me that. It's a long story. Let's not go into that, but I'll keep saying Ori because that's what my mom calls me. Ori, open your leg. Ori, open your leg. I was like, Mommy, take it easy with me. You are here to provide support. You've just been so hard on me from the doctor's office. And Ori, open your leg. Metro was like, it will not pain you. Let me just put on this. I said, no, my pelvic is paining me. Metro just called my husband and my mom aside and said, this girl cannot do this thing. She cannot do it because I'm telling you, like, I'm in full blown tears. I am hysterical. I'm crying, like, oh no, I can't, I can't. But a part of me was telling myself, Sandra, you are prepared for this now. You are ready. You are ready. You are, this is the moment you've been waiting for. Just cooperate to these people. Let them do it and let them get this baby out. I'm crying, like, oh no, I can't, I can't. My children just called my husband and my mother aside and said, this girl cannot do it. Her threshold for pain. I don't know why she's crying, but if you will, I think we should just go for an elective CS. My mother just started. Let's check her. Children of nowadays, they just want the easy way out. Check her, check her. I was like, Mommy, just relax. Like, I cannot do it. I'm telling you, my threshold for this thing, my threshold for pain is little. I cannot do it. If I can afford the CS here, I don't mind. I want to do the CS. My mother was like, no, you already had it in mind that you want to do CS. You already had it in mind. You won't even let them check you. Or open your leg, let them check you. At this point, I'm getting really agitated. My husband's a very calm person. My husband was just by the side. Open your leg, let them check you. And I was like, I was not telling the matron, I think you need to take my mother out of this place because she's making me really anxious. She's giving me anxiety. I brought her here to support me. I didn't bring her here to make any decision for me. So I took excuse. I said, please, I need to like have a conflict with my husband. We need to discuss as a family what do we want to do. So I went by the side. My mother was already fuming, boiling where she was. I did not even send her. I went by the side and I sat with my husband. I said, babe, what do you think? My husband said, whatever brings you comfort is what I want to do. Like whatever it is you want to do. Do you want to do the CS? Do you have the stomach? Can you stomach it? I said, babe, I honestly don't mind the CS because with the way things are happening right now, I'm so scared. I don't want anyone to touch me. I'm already so terrified thinking of how I'm going to push and everything.
Sorry for this break. I just wanted to come on here to add that that elective CS was the best decision for me. Because if you think about it, there was no reason for me to get an elective CS. Everything was going well, but that was just God helping me. My baby was born at 4.2 kg, and the nurses and doctors would not keep talking about how an elective CS was the best decision for me, how it would have been an emergency CS if I had tried to labor, and how I would not have been able to bet a 4.2 kg with my frame. So let's move on back to the story.
I said, I don't mind it if we're going to do CS. My husband said, okay. My husband came back and told Metron, book her for a CS. My mother, on the other hand, you already had it in mind. You wanted to do CS. I said, Mommy, I did not bringing you here is not for you to come and judge me, for you to come and make decisions for me. My husband and I has agreed as a family that this is what we are going to do, and this is what we are going to do. Point blank. Period. It's either you take it. I said, or you go home. When I've put to bed, you can come back and come and take care of the baby. But please, you are making me so anxious. Like you are giving me so much anxiety. My mother was like, no, I don't mean it like that. But I just want them to check you. You know, my mother is scared at this point. I'm her first child. She has never experienced CS. All her births, all her deliveries were vaginal. So my mother is like so terrified at this point. She's scared. You know, they are not as enlightened. Our mothers, our parents, or at least my own mother was not as enlightened. They are not as enlightened with, all the CS, epidurals, and, everything. So she's really scared. She's trembling. She's terrified. Say, Ori, you won't even let them check you. You won't even let them check you, and you just came and say you want them to open your stomach. Ori, look at your mother. I said, Mommy, my husband and I have made a decision. This is what we want to do, and that is like final, point blank. This is what we're going to do. So I think they now told my husband to come downstairs and sort bills and everything. Again, that day, it was just an impromptu thing. They didn't know, so they didn't know that somebody was going to be coming in for an elective CS, because usually with elective CS you would have booked at least 2 weeks or a month too. So the matron called the gynecologist and asked him if he had space for today. And gynecologist said yes, they should book me for 9 p.m. All these things I'm telling you now was around 11 a.m. in the morning. So 9 p.m. Uh, we already knew we were going to be having an elective CS. So when my husband went downstairs, so I had a heart to heart with my mother. I told her, I understand that you are afraid. This is not your ideal situation, but I need you to know that I am safe. I am in safe hands. And for the singular fact that my husband and I have agreed to do this thing, I don't need your input. I don't need your strong input, because she was coming off too strong. Like, coming off as the mother of the child. Yes, you are the mother, you are my mother, but now I have a husband that him and I can, him and I, me and him can take decisions. Me and him can take decisions about me, about my body. It's not about you again. So I told her, I said, all I need from you right now is support. I said, my spirit is so pumped. I am so pumped. I am so happy to be doing this. So what I need from you right now as my mother is your prayer and your support, because there's nothing you will say that will change my mind. This is what I'm going to do. So after we spoke, she relaxed, she calmed down. So my husband came back upstairs, and so they now went home. I didn't eat before I left the house. So I asked them, they said, okay, I can still eat rice by that 11, because my surgery is still for 9. So they went home and wanted to go and make rice for me. Only me was in the hospital, make rice for me. My mother went home to pack her things too. So I was just in the hospital. But now Lagos traffic and everything. They didn't they didn't come back on time. They got back to the hospital by 2. And by that 2 now, nurses had already told me that I cannot eat anything again. That the only thing I could take at that time now was pap, because my surgery was for 9. So the only thing I could take at the time was pap, and I had not drank water too. So I took pap. By that too, I drank water. But that at that period I was still drinking water, like I was still drinking so much water. So by 4 now, I was very thirsty. Nurses said, well, I cannot drink water again, because I had just 5 hours to my surgery. So I cannot drink water again. There that I was, my spit looked like chalk. My saliva looked like chalk. It was so dry. My mouth was so dry. So they said I couldn't drink water again. So by 5, remember surgery was supposed to be for 9. So by 5, nurses came and they started doing their pre-op, whatever preparations and all that. So they now said they wanted to put catheter for me. For those of you that know what catheter is what they insert into your the place that pee comes out from. I don't remember what it's called now, but they put it inside that place that pee comes out from, and it allows urine to go into a bag. That thing is so uncomfortable. So they came by 5, they wanted to put catheter for me. My mother was now like, surgery that is for 9. Why are you putting catheter by 5? My mother was not telling me, oh, this thing is very uncomfortable. Well, they said the nurse now said she's not on night duty, and if a night duty nurse comes, night duty nurse may be hesitant to do it because she will say that why didn't they prep me for surgery since? So I now said, okay, now they now put the thing. I tell you, that is the most uncomfortable thing I have felt in my life. That is the most uncomfortable thing I felt in my life. Although it wasn't difficult to put when they put it on, but that thing just being inside my body was so uncomfortable. I remember I kept telling them, I want to pee, I want to pee. Then I'll say, you want to pee? There's already catheter inside of you. You are not supposed to you're not supposed to feel like urinating because the urine just goes there by itself. You want to pee? I said, yes, I want to pee. They say, you're in labor, you're in active labor. If you are feeling like you want to pee when there's catheter inside of you, then you're in active labor. Well, they said they had already started prepping me for surgery. They had given me one drip already, so there was nothing they could do at that time. I was still so pumped, but when it was nearing time for the surgery, I started to get very afraid. I started to think, Sandra, are you sure this is the right choice? Are you sure you should do this? Like, you would have opened your leg that time for them to check. Oh, by now, I'm sure that you would have given birth, you would have bettered this child, and everything would have been over and done with. Now you are going under the knife. Sandra, CS is a major surgery. Oh, are you sure you are ready for this? But for every time that I was scared, for every time that I was doubting myself, I kept playing that song I told you guys about, this Olorun Agbaye song. So that song was propping me up. It was like giving me ginger. So there that we were, the catheter was there. My stomach, you see that rumbling feeling I told you guys I had on Saturday. Again, I still was not feeling anything under my lower abdomen. Oh. It was still that rumbling feeling. At this point, I was so uncomfortable. I was just saying, Sandra, are you sure you made the right choice like this? My mother, where she was like ice block. She was just there. We had a talk, and I told her to support me. I don't want to hear her input. I don't want to hear anything. So there that she was like ice block. It was later that we were having the conversation that my mother was now telling me how terrified, how scared she was, that she just kept checking the time. And as the time was nearing 9 p.m., her heart was skipping like, you just want to give them your daughter like that to tear. That's like, this was what she was telling me, that these were the things running through her mind. That, you just want to surrender your daughter to them like that to tear. That she was so scared, she was afraid, but she didn't tell me anything. There that she was so quiet. My husband too was there. In fact, the room at that point was quiet, was silent like a graveyard. But I did not need that energy. I didn't need the energy. So I told my husband, I was trying to just, discuss with my husband and everything. At this point, remember, I was really thirsty. There was catheter inside of me. I was already taking drip, getting prepped and ready for surgery. So by like 7, my husband, I think he went out to get something. I don't remember what it was he went to get. So they called him and said, it's time for your husband to come and sign the consent form. When I heard consent form, my heart skipped again. And then I started judging, convicting myself like, Sandra, they've not done this thing. You can opt out now. Well, I gingered myself again. I said, no, this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm going to do. So my husband came. See the way my husband was signing consent form and he was smiling. In my mind, I'm like, look at this man, look at this man. Have you read what is inside this consent form? They are saying that if anything happens to me, your wife, they are not to be held liable. Are you, they sign and you they smile? I didn't tell him this. I was just saying it in my mind. I was just looking at him like, look at it. My husband did not show one atom of fear. He didn't show, like, he was so normal. He was trying to laugh, smile, trying to make me very comfortable. So by the time we were signing this consent form now was like 7. Remember that surgery was supposed to be for 9. Now from that 7 till the 9, it just looked like it was 3 days in that short 2 hours, because I thought of everything. I thought, Sandra, what if you don't make it out alive? Sandra, what if there are complications? And remember, before I gave birth, I had watched some CS vlogs. I'd watched some vaginal birth vlogs because I was trying to prepare myself. And there was this particular CS vlog that I watched that the girl said her anesthesia failed. So everything that they did to her, she felt it in real time, like her anesthesia field. So I was thinking, Sandra, what if they took you the injection and they think that the thing has worked and then the anesthesia fails, and everything. There was just a lot of thoughts going through my mind. But for every time that these thoughts came, I was confronting it with the word of God. I was confronting it with the word of God because I kept just saying that if God has promised something, if God has said something, He will do it. Like He's not about to stop doing it now. He's not about to stop being God now. So I kept confronting all my fears with the word of God. So, mind you, surgery was supposed to be for like 9. Now, fast forward to 9 p.m. Surgeon had not come. What was happening? Catheter, like I'm getting really agitated. What's happening? Nurses were not even coming to tell me anything. Surgery was supposed to be for 9. I was expecting that by like 8:30 or 8:45, they would take me to the theater, and everything. But by then, nurses had not come. 9:20, no news, no word from nurse. So I pressed my bell. And when the nurse came, I went off like, what's really going on? You guys have put catheter in me since 5 p.m. and now it's 9 p.m. Surgery is supposed to happen for 9 p.m. Nobody is saying anything. Nobody is coming to tell me if there's a delay. So they kept, trying to manage me like the surgeon is coming, that you just came today and asked for the CS. So it wasn't on his schedule. I said it wasn't on his schedule, but he gave me 9 p.m. If he knew it wasn't on his schedule, why didn't he say something like, I'm going off? I'm so upset. So my husband was trying to calm me down, like, no, this is not the energy you need right now. This is not the energy. I like the energy you had. You've been happy. This is not, you don't need to be angry right now. Please don't ruin your energy. I'm like, don't ruin my energy. Nobody's checking on me. Nobody's saying anything. I need to pee. There's catheter inside of me. I need to poo. In fact, at this point, I needed to poo. I need to poo. Like I'm telling them, I want to poo. I want to poo. I feel like pooing. They said, no, don't poo. That's the baby's head. That's the baby's head. I said, then when they said, oh, that's the baby's head, in my mind, I'm like, oh God, why did I not just do this thing vaginally? Like now, look at all what is going on. Surgery are supposed to have happened, and surgery, it's not happening. I'm going off. I'm shouting. In fact, I'm getting so agitated. So they called the matron that was available that evening, and she came, tried to manage me. I'm like, okay, 10 o'clock. Surgeon had not come. In my mind, I started saying, Sandra, this is time for you to change your mind. If surgeon had not come now, then that is God trying to shield you from this the operation you want to do. This is time for you to change your mind. But then I thought about it again. They have already started pre-op, like a pre-operation preps on me. They've already done a lot of things. Even if you say you want to do vaginal birth now, you've already put your baby at risk. You've not eaten since morning, you've not drank water since morning, they've already given you some drip and some medications, to prep you for surgery. So for right now, all your body knows right now is surgery. You just have to do the surgery. 10 o'clock finished, surgeon had not still come. It was now 11 o'clock. At this point, I'm upset. I came out of my bed with holding my catheter with rain in hand. I'm like, what's happening? What's happening? You guys said at this point, my mother is so afraid. But like I said, she was like ice water. She didn't say anything. She said she was just praying in her mind, praying in her mind. I'm getting upset. I'm getting agitated. Like, what's happening? So as I was, trying to scream down the hospital, the surgeon walked in. Like, what's happening? I said, I don't get it. What's happening? You guys told me 9 a.m., 9 p.m. rather, and now it's almost 11 and nobody's saying anything. Catheter has been inside of me. I'm pregnant. I've not eaten anything since morning. I've not drank water. My baby's at risk. Like, what's really going on? I need to understand what's going on. Like, I'm getting upset. So the surgeon had to manage me. He said, oh, he was somewhere, performing some surgery, that the surgery took longer than he expected, and then there was traffic, yada yada and everything. So he was like, oh well, he's around now, but he's waiting on the anesthesiologist. I think that's what they are called, the one that will administer the anesthesia. Like he's waiting on the anesthesiologist. That right now he's ready, he's good. We waited another 30 minutes for the anesthesiologist to come. Then I was like, okay, what's really happening? Okay, it was not like, okay, no, it wasn't 30 minutes. We waited for about like 20 minutes for the anesthesiologist to come. And then the surgeon now told the nurse, well, you guys can take her to the theater now. I walked by myself to the theater. So the nurse took me to the theater and told me to climb the bed. There that I was screaming, nurse, I want to pee. I want to pee. Nurse was like, don't worry, don't worry. They will soon do it. They will soon take out the baby. That's the baby's head. That's the baby's head. I was like, are you sure I need to pee? I said, remove this thing from me. I want to pee. Nurse was like, don't worry. That's the baby's head. She was telling me, don't push, oh, don't push, oh, don't push, oh. I did not know that there's something even called involuntary pushing, because at the time I was saying I want to pee, I'm doing I was actually pushing. I didn't know that I was pushing. Say don't push, just in case you are not dilating yet. Don't push. We don't want to put this baby at risk at this point. I was like, what is going on? I just need this over and done with. Like, I've been on this thing since morning. What's happening? What's happening? So the nurse sef now left me in the theater. I don't know what she went to do. I was the only one in the theater. I looked around, I saw the equipment. I was like, Sandra, you still have time to change your mind. To look at all the things they will use on you. I looked, I saw one big light. I saw scissors. I saw different types of things. I was not even saying in my mind, why would this nurse leave me alone, unattended to in this theater? Like, you want to raise my anxiety through the roof? I said, why would this nurse leave me alone like this? So I asked for my phone and my speaker. I took a Bluetooth speaker with me. I asked for my phone and my speaker because I needed to play those Christian songs that were, giving me ginger. So they said no, that I cannot use my phone. I said, well, I need to be relaxed during surgery. I have a playlist I want to play. They now said I should not worry, that the surgeon actually has a very good playlist. He has a fine playlist. So they took my phone and they gave my phone back to my husband. So the surgeon walked in, the two nurses followed him, and then another doctor came in, which was the anesthesiologist that we were waiting for. So when they came in, they walked in casually. And in my mind, I'm like, you are just casually walking in. You are about to tear my stomach, and you are just casually walking in. I don't know the kind of walk I expected them to walk in, though. I don't know how I expected them to walk in, but I was just like, you're about to tear my stomach. Oh. I'm probably about to die on this table. And you're just casually strolling and swinging your arms into the theater like that. Well, it was later that I now remember that this is beans for them. This is what they do every day. I'm sure if you wake that surgeon up from sleep and said you have CS to do, and he will do it. But at this point, I'm already like getting really scared. But I also was very uncomfortable. I needed to pee. I needed to poo. So the anesthesiologist came. Oh, I love that thing. They made me so comfortable. The anesthesiologist came, and was apologizing. He's so sorry, Lagos traffic. He was trying to talk to me, and he told me, okay, now you're just going to feel a very tiny little prick on your back, okay? I said, okay. And then he said, okay, do like this, sit down. My stomach that was very big, he said, okay, sit down. I need to see your back. And truly, it was a tiny little prick. I don't know if I was too much in pain to feel the pain on my back, or if it was not painful. I don't remember what it was, but I know that it was a tiny prick just at my back like this. And then I felt it. And then he explained to me that I'm numbing you from your waist down now, all those yada yada pep talk before surgery. And I said, okay. So I laid down and he put something here. There was something monitoring my heart, and he had a chair and he sat down there and was trying to talk to me. As he was trying to talk to me, the medicine started working. I'm telling you, it felt like the whole world had stopped, because all the pain, all the discomfort I was feeling went to a halt. I'm telling you. And I'm like, I was breathing from carrying pregnancy for too long. So the doctor, the surgeon now came, the anesthesiologist sat there and he was, trying to talk to me. So I told them, they asked me, do I want to watch a procedure, or do I said no, please cover something. I don't want to see anything. They were now laughing. Is it not your body? Why don't you want to see? I said, please, I don't want to see anything. So the anesthesiologist sat by me here. They had already covered. He sat by me here and was trying to talk to me. What's your name? I'm sorry that I was late, yada yada and everything. And I started feeling very numb. My body, my waist down felt so calm and so heavy. So when the man was cleaning up my body, I was not telling them, I'm feeling that thing that you are doing, because I remembered one video that I watched, that the girl said she was telling them that she was feeling what they were doing, and they told her, don't worry, it's in your head, it's in your mind. I said, I'm feeling this thing you are doing. They now said, yes, you will feel it now, you are not dead, but what we can guarantee you is that you will not be in any pain. So we're talking, I heard a cry. I'm telling you. So which means they've been cutting me up the whole time and I did not know. And I heard a cry. I was like, I said, I don't get it. Said, that's your baby. I was like, my baby. Just now, said, I told you, you will not feel pain. I'm telling you, one single pain I did not feel. I said, my baby, oh my God. I started praying. I started prophesying. Because when they brought the baby out, they took the baby. Well, if you see this, my kids are big cry. Oh. If you see the loud cry, loud, very loud. So apparently, even outside, my husband was outside. When he heard the cry, he almost came into the theater. My mother too, when she heard the cry, she ran out. She was like, "Hey, the daughter don't born, my daughter, all this kind of things." So the anesthesiologist was just talking. I said, "Wow, that was quick. That was fast." Said, "We told you, like this is simple. In the next 15, 20 minutes, you'll be out of this place." So my baby cried. So I started prophesying. Mind you, the surgeon came in, and when he came in, you will not believe the song that he played. Exactly. Oloro Agbaye, you are mighty. Oh. I said God was working with me, like I was in sync with the Holy Spirit. Everything that was happening that day, God was just making it work. When I heard the song, when the surgeon started his playlist and I heard the song, I was so relaxed. I was like, this is proof that God is here with me. This is proof that God's hand is in this thing. Because I know that I was so sad. I said, what if the surgeon comes and starts playing some kind of music that I don't understand? And that was the song that the surgeon played. And that the surgeon was singing the song and I was singing alongside. This thing I'm telling, I did not stay in that theater for up to 45 minutes. This thing that I'm telling you now. They were now discussing, talking, gisting, anesthesiologist. Before I would see it, he stood up. I said, my job here is done. I was like, I don't understand. I said, we're done with you. They finished showing you up. I'm like, na so the matter be. No, CS don't finish. That's good though. I remember laying on that bed and thinking, Sandra, this is the best decision you have made in your life. This is the best decision. I remember thinking that, like, so I remember also thinking that, so why do some people stress themselves to go through labor if CS is this fast, this safe? But then again, recovery, the story is coming. The story for the recovery is coming. Anyway, the surgeon now sat on a table. I was just there, and nurses were working on me. Okay, then they brought my child to me. When they brought my child to me, I could remember that the first thing I thought was, this became big. Oh. So they brought my child to me, and I'm prophesying, I'm crying, I'm praying, I'm just giving thanks. Just, Father, I thank you. Your word is here and amen. I was just prophesying into my child's life. I was prophesying, I was praying, I was giving thanks. I was like, thank you, Jesus. This is your word, this is your promise. You made it come to pass. I remember prophesying to my child, prophesying. So as I was prophesying, they took the child and I was like, please give him to his father. They took the child and they took him to their nursery. So I think that was it. The doctor now sat by a table and was writing his one part self that I failed to mention. So when they were stitching me up, I could hear the doctor telling the assistant doctor there that, okay, take the rope and do like this. Apparently, she was a student doctor. So in my mind, I'm like, hey, now my body on I won't use leg work. Now my body on I dey use leg work. So my brothers and sisters in the Lord, that's what happened. Though. It was a positive birth story because if I could close and open my eyes, my baby was out. I was already in recovery. So I remember when the anesthesiologist left, I started shivering. I started shivering. I was like, doctor, I'm shivering. I'm shivering. So doctor now said, yes, you're supposed to shiver. Apparently, they put something in me that would make my uterus contract since I did not give birth vaginally. Say, don't worry, you are going to shiver. I will leave the rest recovery for the next video. My recovery from CS. I mean, I thought that having a CS was the best decision of my life until it was time to recover. And then I knew that, okay, everything has its own downsides. Every single thing. You see that push that you did not push when you were in labor. During recovery, you will see it and you see yourself. So, yeah, that was what happened, though. That was how I went into recovery. They took me, I remembered the door flung open and it was my husband and I'm smiling like, yeah, babe, they are done. I'm not telling him, have you seen the baby? The baby is so big. And then I saw my mother too. My mother was like, Uri, how are you? I said, Mommy, I'm fine, I'm fine. So they came, they saw me, and then they wheeled me back to my room. I think that was it. So that was the bed story. For those of you that have been waiting for this bed story, here goes nothing. This is the bed story. By next week, I'm going to tell you guys all about my recovery. So I'm going to start from here that I stopped for next week. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me for this long. And until my next one, guys, be well. Bye.